I mean, anytime it's within the score and we got Pat Mahomes, I'm betting on us.
4th and 16, what was that feeling? Trying to make that play.
It's just you got to find a way. Pat's just telling everybody stay alive. The initial play might not be there, but you got to make something happen out of nothing. And sure enough, we got a little help from the rest, but that's what happens when you keep playing to the whistle.
Travis, how different are these games with Cincinnati? They're all close.
Every one of them, baby.
They're all a lot of talk going back and forth. It seems like they're all playoff games. How different are they?
Those are the ones you wake up excited for. I got a lot of respect for the coaches, the players over there, because of the mentality they come into the game or in the Arrowhead or in the Cincinnati Stadium with, and every single one of them feels like a playoff game. So that's what you die for, man.
I know it got called back because of holding, but you pump faked the lateral on that one play. Just kind of, do you feel like that bought you some extra yards? Or kind of, I know you lateral all the time.
I mean, I'm just out there playing instinctual. It's just I got to have better ball security on that play in general. The ball kind of got out of my hands a few times.
Hey guys, last one. That you gave Kingsley some words of advice, considering the situation that happened with him.
I think my guy Kingsley's going to be all right, man. He's a tough kid. He's a smart kid. It's just sometimes it just takes a few times to get beat to figure out exactly what you got to do next time. We got a great offensive line, great leaders in that group, a great offensive line coach and Coach Heck, and he's going to really help him develop. But I think Wanya did a great job of coming in when he did and helping us out.
All right, guys.
Have a good one.
Thanks. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Travis Kelce and girlfriend Taylor Swift holding hands leaving Arrowhead Stadium after the Kansas City Chiefs vs. Cincinnati Bengals game. On Sunday, September 15th, Taylor Swift had a fun-filled day when she appeared at Arrowhead Stadium to cheer on her boyfriend Travis Kelce. However, after the game ended, Travis Kelce and girlfriend Taylor Swift were seen holding hands as they left the stadium. Taylor Swift's mom didn't write Travis Kelce's name on her shirt as she arrived to cheer him on at his latest Kansas City Chiefs game. But she came close, while attending his team's home game against the Cincinnati Bengals with her daughter September 15th. Andrea Swift sported a badge bearing the words "In My 87 Era." A nod to the athlete's jersey number and the singer's ongoing Eras tour. Taylor, who was on a break and set to resume her concerts in mid-October, arrived at the event wearing an oversized Chiefs t-shirt, a black skirt and thigh-high black leather boots. In addition to Andrea, she was also accompanied by her brother Austin Swift and friends Este Haim and Danielle Haim from the band Haim. Taylor has attended most of Travis games since they began dating 1 year ago, and has often brought along her friends, mom, brother and dad Scott Swift. Her parents also joined her at the 2024 Super Bowl, where the Chiefs beat the San Francisco 49ers. The Cruel Summer singer later included them in a TikTok video she filmed at an after-party they attended with Travis, which marked her first social media post that included the athlete. The last event took place days after the singer gave the athlete a sweet shout-out on stage to the athlete at the 2024 MTV VMAs while accepting the award for Video of the Year for her Fortnite collab with Post Malone. "It actually was the most fun video to make," Taylor, who attended the show without Travis, said in her speech. "Something that I'll always remember is when I finished a take and I'd say cut, and we'd be done with that take. I would always hear someone cheering from across the studio where we were shooting it," she noted. "That one person was my boyfriend Travis." Look back at Taylor and Travis' road to romance. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce's love story began in July 2023, when the singer's Eras tour made a stop at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. As a huge Swiftie, the Kansas City Chiefs tight end caught the show with hopes of giving Taylor a friendship bracelet with his number on it. However, he failed to complete the pass due to her pre-show rituals. "I was disappointed that she doesn't talk before or after her shows because she has to save her voice for the 44 songs that she sings," Travis shared on the July 26th episode of his New Heights podcast. "So, I was a little butthurt I didn't get to hand her one of the bracelets I made for her." After publicly recounting his fumble, a move Taylor would later describe as "metal as hell," Travis decided to shoot his shot and invite the Grammy winner to watch the Chiefs play at Arrowhead Stadium. "I threw it out there, I threw the ball in her court," he shared on the Pat McAfee show. "I told her, I've seen you rock the stage in Arrowhead, you might have to come see me rock the stage in Arrowhead and see which one's a little more lit. So, we'll see what happens in the near future." Travis was rocking a mustache, which he debuted in August during training camp when he was first introduced to Taylor. As he later noted of the era, "That stash and the 87 jersey was pretty iconic there for a little bit, and I had it when I met Taylor for the first time." Accepting Travis' invite, Taylor joined the athlete's mom Donna Kelce at Arrowhead Stadium to watch him and the Chiefs take on the Chicago Bears. After the game, Taylor and Travis were seen packing PDA at a local bar. Though folklore had it that it was the couple's first in-person meeting, the Karma singer later clarified the two had spent a significant amount of time getting to know each other beforehand. As Taylor noted, "We would never be psychotic enough to hard launch a first date." As an indication that the relationship was heating up, Taylor brought her squad, including friends Blake Lively, Ryan Reynolds, Sophie Turner, Hugh Jackman, Sabrina Carpenter and Antoni Porowski, to watch the Chiefs play against the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Travis Kelce was quiet for most of the Kansas City Chiefs' Week 2 game against the Cincinnati Bengals. Unable to get anything going through the air, the Chiefs gave Kelce a carry on the goal line. That too came up short, but it set up a trick play where Mahomes threw a touchdown pass to offensive lineman Wanya Morris. Another Kansas City Chiefs outing against the Cincinnati Bengals, another instant classic matchup between two of the NFL's best quarterbacks. In the latest installment of Kansas City vs. Cincinnati, it was the home team that came away with a victory. After a back-and-forth battle and some late-game dramatics, the Chiefs pulled through and kicker Harrison Butker drained a game-winning field goal to bring his team to 2-0 on the year. Things took a while to get going for Kansas City on Sunday, as the team got outgained by an average of 2.2 yards per play. Posting 4.3 yards per clip and 3.5 yards per pass, Andy Reid and company committed to running the football and took a lot of time on its opening possession. Near the end zone, halfback Isaiah Pacheco was stopped 3 times and Reid opted against going back to Carson Steele. Choosing a field goal over a touchdown attempt on 4th down was a poor decision. Speaking of poor decisions, the Chiefs' second drive lasted just 1 play. Mahomes locked on to targeting tight end Travis Kelce, ultimately being intercepted by linebacker Akeem Davis-Gaither. That set the Bengals up for their first touchdown of the game. Mahomes and Kansas City bounced back with a score on their next possession, but a slow start made things difficult in half number 1. In the Bengals' Week 1 loss to the New England Patriots, running back Ramondre Stevenson toted the ball 25 times for 120 yards and a touchdown. A lot of that production was after contact, further highlighting how poor of a defensive effort Cincinnati had. Coming into this weekend's game, Zach Eisen of Kansas City Chiefs on SI pondered whether committing to the run and a steady diet of Pacheco could achieve some success in Week 2. It certainly did. In the first quarter alone, the Chiefs attempted 10 runs and gave Pacheco 7 of them. The veteran running back totaled 29 yards on those totes, although his average was dragged down by the short yardage stops. He certainly did so, 7 receptions for 91 yards, but the rest of the tight end room also got some work in. Veteran Drew Sample and rookie Eric Hall Jr. combined for 60 yards, too. Social media seemed to place a lot of blame on linebacker Nick Bolton-Liv. He deserves a good chunk of it, absolutely, but there's plenty to go around. Another thought on the defense: Kansas City's supporting pieces at cornerback came back down to earth after a strong Week 1. Nazeeh Johnson lost on an Andre Iosivas touchdown, Watson surrendered a 47-yard pass in the third quarter and Iosivas scored on another rep with Joshua Williams failing to contain him. Trent McDuffie largely played well and it isn't time to hit the panic button. But the volatility of the depth is worth keeping an eye on. Earlier this weekend, my colleague Mark Van Sickle wrote that the Chiefs could effectively put this ongoing rivalry with Cincinnati to rest with a win. After all, last season saw the Bengals miss the playoffs and another victory would have given Kansas City even more success over their 2-time conference title game foes. It's a completely fair perspective to have. In this writer's opinion, though, the feud was always going to continue regardless of Sunday's outcome. It's impossible to predict what the rest of the season has in store for either of these teams. With that said, the Chiefs maintain championship expectations and the Bengals showed they, still, have what it takes to seriously challenge them. The only question now becomes whether Joe Burrow and company can climb out of a 0-2 hole and still make the postseason. It's much easier said than done, so perhaps the rivalry gets put on hold. Side note: Kansas City's left tackle performance needed to be mentioned. There wasn't quite enough room to add analysis here, but it's coming soon.